To another episode of Betting the Pitch. This time taking place in Las Vegas. Ooh, soccer lines are not exactly all over the place here, so I think I'll be betting from the strip on my phone in Costa Rica or wherever the heck these places are located. But without further ado, we'll go into this weekend's slate, starting with the English Premier League because that's where the money is. Brighton currently a 1-goal underdog at home to Liverpool. And I don't know who's backing Brighton really or who wants to because they can't score goals. Their defense is questionable, and Liverpool are going to have them on the back foot for a lot of the game. Maybe Brighton is able to steal the ball and have a little bit more of it, but Graham Potter's offense does very little, maybe because of him, maybe because of his players. Liverpool are very scary to fade, even getting a full goal of insurance. Most of the juice is on Liverpool right now. Maybe this climbs to 1.25. And as it gets higher, I think that my interest in Brighton increases. But for now, I don't think I want anything to do with it. Next is Brentford hosting Burnley. Currently, Brentford a quarter goal favorite with all the juice. So maybe this is climbing to a half. And I will be on Burnley. I can almost assure that, assuming I can handle a 3 a.m. wake up call or whatever the heck it's going to take in Las Vegas. Burnley are going to defend really well. They're going to be probably see this as a match where they can take 3 points, which would be huge for them avoiding relegation. Brentford got a good win recently, but they're still a relegation candidate based on everything besides the first 7 weeks of the season. And as a favorite, when they don't score goals, is ridiculous. So really hoping this climbs to a half of a goal. Might not get there, but even at a quarter, I will be on on Burnley. Manchester United then hosting Tottenham. Currently, Man United a quarter goal favorite at home. All the juice in Tottenham. Manchester United certainly with Champions League on their minds and haven't been playing well. Got embarrassed by Man City in a big derby. Tottenham, on the other hand, thrashing teams, playing well under Conte, though they do have some struggles. In terms of how this game will work out, I think Tottenham will sit back and try to counterattack, which is exactly what they want to do and fits pretty well for them as an underdog, which I think is why you see all the juice. And this might even trend towards pick'em, despite Manchester United being clearly a bigger, better, more expensive club. I think Manchester United are a team that I want to be against. So Tottenham getting a quarter looks like they're of interest to me. Moving to Sunday, Chelsea hosting Newcastle. Currently, Chelsea a 1.5 goal favorite. Played a bunch of matches this week, but are a really deep side. Have a lot of Abramovich stuff going on with Ukraine and Russian oligarchs and all that sort of stuff. But they're facing a Newcastle side that don't have much offense to threaten Chelsea, really. And the defense is still a question, even with all of the transfer activity they've done. I think fading Chelsea is a decent idea when they're giving more than a goal, but I don't know that I see Newcastle scoring here. So you're really going to have to rely on Newcastle's defense, keeping a clean sheet, unlikely, only conceding once, which is a reasonable possibility. But the problem is when that first goal goes in, it might be really difficult for them to avoid the second. So I don't know that Newcastle will make my card unless I suddenly feel very good about an offense that I haven't felt good about in a long time. Everton then hosting Wolves. Currently, Everton a quarter goal favorite at home. Wolves with a big win midweek, finally getting a big multi-goal victory. It was against one of the worst teams in the league, so not sure what to say about that. But Everton is a quarter goal favorite. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. They can supposedly score goals, but really can they? Their defense is a disaster. And Wolves continue, maybe deservedly, to not get a lot of respect because they get a lot of points from not scoring many goals. But getting a quarter at Everton will be on my card most likely as well. Leeds then hosting Norwich. Currently, Leeds a 1-goal favorite, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Jesse Marsch maybe has fixed them, but I didn't see it. They didn't get a result in the first match. And Norwich, while they're probably the worst team in the league going down, Leeds look like one of those teams that are going down too, and they're giving a full goal of insurance away. Maybe Norwich plays open, tries to win this match, which they need points. That might be something they start to do. But I think I'll pay to see that, considering Leeds are not a good defense. Their offense is okay, but really feels like a lot of their goals are flukes anyway. Maybe they control the ball a lot here, but they're going to leave themselves exposed as they push for, or I guess they did under Bielsa. Maybe Jesse Marsch will be a little bit more conservative. He has to be, because I don't think he could be as aggressive as Bielsa was. But unfortunately, Jesse Marsch was pretty bad for a dominant Red Bull Leipzig side that have really controlled Bundesliga. They've given up a ton of goals. They wanted to really possess the ball a lot, which I feel like is not really the way, the quick counterattack, lightning speed that Leeds is usually used to. So maybe it's good for them for the future. I just don't see them being deserving of a 1-goal favorite. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Southampton then hosting Watford. Currently, Southampton a 1-goal favorite. Watford with a pretty bad performance midweek have to run back only a few days rest. That's not a great situation. The full goal of insurance is interesting to me because I don't really believe in the Southampton offense, but they've done pretty well in taking their chances with pretty low XG games, yet winning them. So I don't know. I definitely don't like Southampton being a full goal favorite, but I don't know that Watford are a team I want to lose money on. West Ham then hosting Aston Villa. Currently, West Ham a quarter goal favorite. All the juice on Villa on the road, and I think that's a good reason because West Ham had to play in Sevilla, Spain yesterday in the Europa League, and that was a tough loss for them. But have to travel there and have to come home, and they're not really a great offense. So I think looking to back anybody that's playing West Ham with a defense that you can feel like you can trust a little bit is worth it. I'm not sure that Aston Villa is a perfect defense, but the way Philippe Coutinho has been playing, I think is certainly someone that you want to look to back. And this probably is a low scoring match that might not even have any goals. So getting any sort of candy on an underdog is, I think, worth looking at, especially with West Ham's tired legs. Arsenal then hosting Leicester. This is Arsenal 1-goal favorite. Leicester, the good performance midweek in the Europa League, but were getting controlled until they took a lead against Rennes, a French side from the Farmers League. So not sure what to think about that, but definitely tired legs are a concern there, especially against a really young Arsenal side that can get up and down the pitch really quickly. So I don't know that Leicester are of interest to me getting a full goal, which says a lot considering what they used to be, but they're not the same team anymore. Moving to Monday, Crystal Palace hosting Manchester City. Crystal Palace a 1.5-goal favorite at home. Excuse me, 1.5-goal underdog at home. Man City with clearly a midweek, I guess, a lack of goal scoring. I mean, a 0-0, but they also were up 5-0 in aggregate and probably could have played their C team or the bottom of their registrations if they really thought about it. But Palace are going to have good crowd support, certainly. I just don't really see them scoring. I don't really believe in their offense. And if you don't score against Man City, it's going to be really hard to cover any sort of number below 2. So that's the Premier League for this weekend. We'll move now quickly to the Spanish La Liga. Atletico Madrid hosting Cadiz. Currently, Atleti a 1.25-goal favorite. They've been playing a lot better lately. They've been getting a lot of results. I'm not sure that I believe in Atleti and kind of who they are, but Cadiz aren't really a team that are likely to challenge them because they don't score goals. They're on a second manager. Haven't really been doing great. Did get a big win last weekend, but that seemed like a lot of fortune, and Rayo Vallecano just being a disaster. I'm not sure how I feel about Atleti giving more than a goal, but Cadiz, it just feels very unlikely that they'll score. So they're going to have to really defend and keep Atleti from getting an add-on goal. And at 1.25, I'm not sure that's enough for me because I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. Levante then hosts an Espanyol on Saturday. Levante currently a quarter-goal favorite, have been playing a lot better, and Espanyol has not. Got a good win last weekend, but now they go on the road and they're going to have to be competitive with the bottom side of La Liga. So certainly makes me want to play the underdog on the road against the worst team in La Liga. But Levante played better. We'll see what happened with the Jose Luis Morales injury, which really, I think, took the steam out of the ship last weekend. But ultimately, I guess, gun to my head, I'm interested in the quarter on the road for a better team, but Espanyol haven't been playing very well either. Granada then hosting Elche. Currently, Granada, a quarter-goal favorite, just fired their manager. That's not a great situation. Elche have been playing fairly well. I feel like they've been not getting the results they've deserved. And I'm interested in them as a quarter-goal underdog against a team that's just sacked their manager and are really trying to find answers. That nothing has gone well for Granada for a while. I feel like they've been playing better than the results, but they have to win here, and that's going to be hard for them to do. Villarreal then hosting Celta de Vigo. Currently, Villarreal a 3/4 goal favorite with all the juice, so maybe this is climbing to 1. I think at 1, I'm interested in looking into Celta de Vigo because they can score goals. Their defense is problematic. I really question their goalkeeper from time to time. And Villarreal are playing really well, but they also have Juve coming up midweek. And that makes me think that they're going to have some eyes on that matchup for sure. Maybe some early substitutions and really trying to hang on to a 1-goal victory. So 3/4 probably not enough for me based on how well Villarreal have been playing. But Celta de Vigo getting a full goal would be likely on my card on Saturday morning. Getafe then hosting Valencia. Currently, Getafe a quarter-goal favorite, which is saying something considering how poor they were last week. Their offense really isn't something that you can expect a lot from. And Valencia, they've got a lot going for them. Had a good, I think, unifying effort to get to the Copa del Rey final, and getting a quarter from a team that really struggles to score besides Enes Unal. is definitely of interest to me in the nightcap on Saturday. Rayo Vallecano then hosting Sevilla on Sunday. Rayo currently a quarter goal underdog at home, and they should be because they've been playing terribly for a long time now. Sevilla had to play midweek, so that's not great, and it's really hard to fade Sevilla because they are a really good team, second in La Liga, and look pretty safe in Champions League spot. That they're not necessarily going to challenge, I think, for the championship, but they're close and closest to Real Madrid. As we get some fire engines in the background. Hopefully the casino's not on fire. Real Betis then hosting Athletic Club. Currently Real Betis a quarter goal favorite at home. And they've been dealing with a lot of fixture overload. Played midweek, which was nice, but got a kind of an advantage playing Wednesday. So their legs are a little bit more rested. But I really got to say, Athletic Club, they're going to go to Betis, who's been struggling defensively. Athletic Club are going to play a counterattacking brand of football. And I love them as an underdog, so I'm very interested. They have all the juice right now, so maybe this falls to pick them, and that will probably take it out of my hands. But I'll watch this one to see that I can play Athletic Club because I like them as an underdog, and I think Betis are just running on fumes at this point. Real Sociedad, a one-goal favorite to Alaves. Alaves not playing well, not really good, are definitely relegation threatened. Sociedad playing, I guess, a little bit better, but a lot of those results I feel like have been kind of fraudulent, and then they got smashed by a looking ahead Real Madrid club. Or side that were missing a lot of bodies. So they're not in great shape. I think lean to the goal of insurance, but Sociedad do have some scoring options where Alaves don't have many, and they're going to go and try to defend for 95 minutes, and that's going to be pretty tough to do. Barcelona then hosting Osasuna, currently Barca a 1.5 goal favorite. Osasuna's been better on the road, but can't really trust them to score. And Barcelona's been playing well. They have a lot of offensive options, so I'm not really sure that I want to do much with that one. Moving to Monday, Mallorca hosting Real Madrid. Currently, Mallorca a one-goal underdog at home, which seems a little short to me. Expected Real Madrid to be higher than just one, but ultimately Real Madrid coming off a huge turnaround victory kind of out of nowhere against PSG in Champions League. We'll see what they're kind of doing if they're rotating for this matchup because they're pretty far ahead in the league. I think they're still obviously focused on winning La Liga, but definitely some emotional situation here to keep track of or look into, and potentially some important bodies missing. Moving to Italy, so Serie A, we have Saturday matches. Salernitana hosting Sassuolo. Currently, Salernitana getting half of a goal at home, and that doesn't really seem like enough to me. Sassuolo has been playing really well. They score a ton of goals. So I'm interested in them, if anything, as an underdog when they play the bigger clubs for the rest of the season. Spezia then hosting Cagliari, currently Pick'em. Not a lot of difference, I guess. More juice on Cagliari on the road, which says something, but Cagliari have been playing a lot better. Spezia seem like they're in a swoon, but are in a much better spot in the table than I think a lot of people would expect of them as a relegation threatened side this season, with a lot of the predictions going into it. Not a lot for me to do at Pick'em. Sampdoria then hosting Juve. Currently, Sampdoria a 3/4 goal underdog at home. All the juice on Juve, so this might climb to 1. I think Juve, they certainly have to worry about Champions League midweek, but they're a lot better than Sampdoria. They have a lot of goal scorers. The Vlahovic signing was awesome. They're dealing with a ton of injuries as they have all season, but they did strengthen the squad in the January transfer window. So they've got a little bit better depth. And I think Sampdoria are just a team I don't want to back as an underdog, that I want them to hang in games because they really seem like a team that looked like relegation fodder if they didn't get off to a good start to the season. AC Milan then hosting Empoli. Currently, AC Milan a 1.5 goal favorite at home. Empoli's defense does have some issues. They've scored a fair amount of goals for a newly promoted side this season, but I'm a little worried. AC Milan certainly hasn't killed everybody to get to where they sit in the table, but they've been playing pretty well against the big clubs, and this might be a good class relief where they're finally playing against someone that they're a lot better than. Moving to Sunday, Fiorentina hosting Bologna. Currently, Fiorentina a 3/4 goal favorite at home with all the juice. This climbs to 1. I don't see how I resist, even if Arnautovic doesn't play. He is very important to Bologna scoring goals, but Fiorentina they don't really seem to be as strong as the lines that they've been getting, or that they deserve the lines they've been getting. And so I'm interested in Bologna, who seem to be a little bit more of the kind of stingy side that doesn't give up a lot of goals and just tries to get nick one to win a match. And that's interesting to me as an underdog. Verona then hosting Napoli. Currently, Verona getting half of a goal with all the juice. This might fall to a quarter. And that says something. It's a little bit disrespectful, I think, to Napoli, considering how well they've played, though they haven't really done as well in the most recent future. I think Verona are playing good offense. They're going to score goals, but their defense is really, really porous. And I think Napoli are a team that can take advantage of that. So I don't know that the home dogs of interest to me when this falls to a quarter, if it does. Atalanta then hosting Genoa, coming off a good win in Europa League midweek. They are 1.5 goal favorites, and Genoa have been playing really good football. They've been really tough. They've been limiting their opponents, and they're fighting relegation. That's scary, though, to go to Atalanta, who can certainly score goals and are starting to look a lot more healthier than they were earlier in the season. Thing is, Atalanta playing off of midweek, a couple days later, legs are going to be tough, and they don't have as deep of a side to rotate like I think they would want to. So Genoa are of interest to me at getting 1.5 goals, especially to see where this number goes, because Atalanta usually gets bet, I feel like, on match day. Udinese then hosting Roma, currently getting 1/4 goal at home with all the juice. It's a little bit, I think, mean to Roma, but they had to play midweek, or disrespectful to Roma. I think they deserve to be a bigger favorite, just because Udinese has not defended well this season. I don't know that I really want to fade Roma, though. Yes, tired legs are certainly going to help Udine, but I think their offense is never something I really want to rely upon. Their defense just hasn't been good this year. Torino hosting Inter Milan. Currently, Torino a 3/4 goal underdog at home. All the juice on Inter, so maybe this climbs to 1. I think Torino are going to control the ball and going to try to be on the front foot and try to score goals. And so getting a full goal of insurance is of interest to me there if that number is ever reached. Inter just haven't been playing very well. Crashed out of Champions League for the millionth time in a row before the quarterfinals, I think. And it just, I don't know that Inter have been really up to playing very well. I mean, Lautaro Martinez with a great goal in Champions League, and then Alexis Sanchez got sent off. So like, it just, things haven't been clicking for them, and they're starting to really, I think, lose their spot at the top of the table. That's a big problem for them. Where Torino don't love where they sit in the table, and certainly are going to play an aggressive style, which will give Inter some opportunities. But if I get a +1, I think I'll play them at home. Moving to Monday, Lazio versus Venezia. Currently, Lazio 1.5 goal favorite. Venezia not playing as well lately, dealing with a lot of attrition due to suspensions and injuries and all these sort of things. Lazio can score goals, so I don't know that I want to go against them at home, a team that can score goals. And once they get one, the second will be a lot easier to grab. Moving to Germany, to the Bundesliga, Freiburg hosting Wolfsburg on Saturday. Freiburg currently a 1/4 goal favorite at home, with all the juice as well. So it's likely climbing 1/2 goal. And that's a big number for Freiburg to lay. I think that makes me a little bit interested in Wolfsburg if it climbs to 1/2, though they certainly have flaws. Hoffenheim then hosting Bayern München. Currently, Hoffenheim a 1-goal underdog. And I think there are going to be goals in this match. I mean, total is 3 3/4, so that's pretty high. But Bayern showed during the week that they can score a shitload of goals. And Hoffenheim can do it at home, especially. So I'm not sure that I'm interested in Hoffenheim getting only the 1 at home, though I think they can certainly give Bayern a game. I think I'm more interested in anything in backing Hoffenheim to score by playing that over 3 3/4 number, though that's so high considering most of the totals in the Bundesliga are like 2.5. Union Berlin then hosting Stuttgart, currently giving 1/2 goal. That's really flattering to Union considering how they've been playing since the transfer window, and really everyone else in Germany just picking their team apart and signing their players. Stuttgart have been really struggling, though, and they're in a relegation fight, so that's not great. Union is a big favorite, though, someone that I try to go against. So I'm interested in Stuttgart getting that 1/2, though it's all the juice right now. It might fall to 1/4, and probably means I skip at that number because Stuttgart are getting healthier. I just still don't believe in who they are at present. Borussia Mönchengladbach, then a 1-goal favorite at home to Hertha Berlin. Gladbach have not been playing great, but maybe are turning their season around a little bit. Still, things have been going well for them. Hertha Berlin, though, are a disaster, so I just don't really want to look at them anymore. So I'll move on to the next. Leverkusen hosting Cologne, currently a 1-goal favorite, coming off a loss midweek in Europa League, or I think so. Or did they? Yeah, Frankfurt won. Sorry. So Cologne, they're starting to look like they're not really the team they were at the start of the season, whether it's injuries or Modest just not being possible to keep scoring as much as he was. But getting a full goal of insurance doesn't really seem that appetizing to me, because Leverkusen can score even with tired legs. I just don't know that Cologne are a side I want to back on the road to try to keep up in a high-scoring game with a total of 3.25. Borussia Dortmund then hosting Arminia Bielefeld. Speaking of teams that can score, Dortmund a 1.75 goal favorite. Don't like their defense at all, but I think that they can score on Bielefeld, who are pretty limited in what they can create. They want to play a low-scoring game, and I don't think Dortmund will give that to them. So 1.75 is a big number for Dortmund to lay with that awful defense. I just don't know if Bielefeld are a team that can take advantage of it. So I'll probably skip that one. Moving to still on Sunday, Eintracht Frankfurt hosting Bochum. Currently, Frankfurt a half a goal favorite off a really good performance midweek in Europa League, and they got to play Wednesday, so that was also beneficial for them. Bochum, different side on the road when they don't have their crowd behind them, but ultimately they're going to play really tough. They're going to defend really well, and they're going to make it hard on Frankfurt. So eventually, certainly I'm always an underdog player, so I'm interested in Bochum, but I think Frankfurt are playing well enough that I'm just really scared of Kostic, and not getting a full goal is probably not enough for me. And last but not least, Greuther Fürth getting 1.5 from Leipzig. They're terrible, and so I'm going to leave that there because I don't want to waste any more of anybody's time talking about that team against a team like Leipzig, who can probably smash them. Moving to Ligue 1, our last set of matches for this match day. Friday, we have Lille hosting Saint-Etienne. Currently, Lille a 3/4 goal favorite, which seems a little low to me, even though Saint-Etienne have been playing a lot better of recent. I was just thinking this would at least touch 1. So a little low for me, but that's respectful of Saint Etienne and probably is a response to how they've been playing lately. So I'm interested in that. Montpellier then hosting Nice. Currently, Montpellier getting a goal at home with all the juice. Maybe this falls to pick them. I'm not interested in fading Nice even as a road favorite because I think they're really good. And Montpellier have been really disappointing. Their results haven't really matched how well they've been playing, but I think it's about time for me to kind of just take them for who they are. They've sold a lot of their players, and they just don't really seem to be getting results that they deserve. And I need to take notice of that. Troyes then hosting Nantes off a big win last weekend against Bordeaux. Nantes playing really well. Pick them right now with all the juice on Nantes on the road. Nantes playing really well. They've certainly got Coupe de la Ligue coming up, but I don't think that's coming up next week. So I don't see why Troyes are only a pick 'em right now. I think they should close an underdog. It might climb there, but I don't know that I'm interested in that. Coming off a big win, might have celebrated a little bit too much this week. Moving to Sunday, PSG hosting Bordeaux. Who knows where their mental state's going to be, considering how poorly the last few minutes of that match turned against Real Madrid. Infighting, Mauricio Pochettino blaming the refs, of course. Couldn't ever blame him or the stars in his team because that would probably just fracture French society. But Bordeaux getting 2.25 goals doesn't really seem like a good situation because they're going to give up a ton. 3.5 as the total seems pretty low here. Bordeaux generally do pretty well to get on the board, but they give up more goals than almost anybody. So depending what we get from PSG, they might just not care. If they were a real team that cared about things like Liga, they'd come out firing and try to go score 10 goals that they could probably get against Bordeaux. And that's probably the hesitation, about 3.5. That's a pretty big number in any soccer match. Angers then hosting Reims. Currently, Angers a 1/4 goal favorite at home, and that is absolute madness. I don't understand that at all. Reims just continue to be underdogged. Maybe they get some good results that they don't deserve, but they've been crushing it. They've been an awesome bet. Angers are a dead team that have been selling assets because they can't pay their bills. So give me Reims. I'm not going to let that pick them, so I'll keep an eye on it. But most of the juice on Angers anyway. So maybe there's some big COVID stuff in Reims, but I feel like that's only happened to minds of any of the teams lately. So I don't know. Clermont Foot then hosting Lorient. Currently Clermont a 1/4 goal favorite at home. Seems a little short to me, honestly. Lorient, I haven't been playing well all season. Clermont have been. They're on the front foot, and I'm not sure what to expect. Metz then hosting Lens. Currently, Metz a 1/2 goal underdog at home. Lens are going to take it to them. Metz can't score, so I just don't know that I can back them even as a home underdog because Lens are pretty good and have a good offense that's going to attack the whole time. Strasbourg hosting Monaco. Currently, pick them with all the juice right now. Strasbourg at home, and it should be that way. Monaco losing midweek. Pretty disappointing season. They got a big win at Marseille last weekend. I would love to play Strasbourg here. I don't think I'm interested in Monaco, even if it moves to a 1/4 goal underdog. Lyon then hosting Rennes. Currently, Lyon a 1/4 goal favorite with all the juice. Might climb to a 1/2, and that's might be a buy point for me on Rennes. I really like the way they were playing against Leicester and then went behind, and things fell apart from there. I don't really love that they have to then face Lyon on the road, coming off a Thursday match when Lyon played Wednesday and played pretty well. We'll see what happens to Lucas Paqueta, who took a big head clash and was bleeding all over the place on Wednesday. Did score the winner, of course, probably concussed, but Rennes have been playing really well, and so I'm interested in backing them, especially if we get to half of a goal. And we'll try to look past the tired legs, though I do expect some rotation in that lineup potentially. Brest then hosting Marseille in our last match of the week that we'll cover today. Brest, a quarter goal underdog at home. Marseille haven't been playing well. It's tough to see them as a favorite on the road. If Arkadiusz Milik is in the lineup, then that means that they are likely scoring goals, and he might get one or two. If he's not there, I'll be very interested to back Brest as a home dog. If he is there, I'll have to think about a lot harder about it. Though Marseille's run of form has not been good, and Brest, they've shown that they can defend. They've unfortunately sold some of their players, which has limited kind of who they are a little bit. But they're known for their defense, or that's how they play. And Marseille haven't really shown a lot as a road favorite to deserve that type of price moving forward. So that's 25 minutes through the soccer slate of the top 5 European leagues. Got any questions, hit me on Twitter, @thereal_G Warner. And I'm going to try to go win some money. Bye.